Welcome back to Steve's Project Car Garage. My name is Steve, and this is my 1969 Triumph Spitfire tanker. Today's episode, I'm going to be going ahead and looking at the Crossmember here, which crosses from passenger side to the driver's side. If you remember on my earlier videos on the driver's side, I went ahead and I welded in a patch, and now on the passenger side, I got to reevaluate and kind of see if this is really what I want to do. I discovered some rust areas in here, and I'll go ahead and I'll show those to you here, and I'll tell you where I'm at with my kind of decision making on this. So stick around, it's going to be good. Alright, well, so you guys should all be familiar with this side of things. So this is what we're looking at over here on the passenger side. Passenger side is pretty well rotten out. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There you go. So that's what we're looking at on the passenger side. I mean, obviously over here, I'm going to be able to go ahead and replace that with the patch panel. That's not a problem. But it's down in here that I'm really concerned about. Now, the other day I was poking around and I discovered that this spot right here existed. And that right there is pretty sketchy. I don't know how easy this will be to weld. I suspect that that will be relatively easy if I can get at it from the bottom when I get the body off the frame. But I need to make a decision. And so part of that decision is going to be to go ahead and try to clean this metal up as much as possible. And see what I'm actually dealing with and see how bad it is. Trying to replace this side over here and rebuild that patch panel, not a big deal. I've done that before. I think I can do it without a problem over there. But I'm worried about this. And then I'm also just worried about the overall integrity of this piece of metal. It actually doesn't seem to be that bad. And when you get up inside here, you can actually see that it's really just mainly surface rust. So it's not terrible, but I want to make sure that it's going to be sound. And that I'm going to be able to fix this little hole too. It's not huge, so I think I should be okay to fix it. I don't know. The problem that I'm facing, and just a little explanation, is that this section is about 250 bucks. And, I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's relatively cheap. It's going to be the separation of it from the Parcel board up here. That's going to be a real pain. And getting it back together, of course. And plus, I have to also go ahead and disconnect these body mount points, which I'm afraid to do. At least with the front car being cut in half. So let's go ahead and get the wire wheel out. Let's clean it up. Let's see how bad the rust actually is, and we'll go from there. Alright, well, I think I've seen enough to make my decision. I'm having a tough time getting the wire wheel inside, so I decided that I would attack it from the outside. And I've got these holes. This is all just chewed up and rough. I got a hole there, holes there, hole there. So I mean, it needs to be replaced. Unfortunately. I think that's going to be the best option to go. And plus, if you take a look in here too, I need to address this metal. This metal can't be replaced. This metal is all that they make. They don't make replacement pieces for this. So if I were to have to replace this, I'd have to go ahead and actually fabricate it, which means that I need to be really careful when I remove this. I know I've got some weld here that I'm going to have to clean up when I welded in that piece. But I mean, look at that, see? That goes right, well that looks like it's a drill hole, screw hole, but that looks like a little hole. I mean, this is the primary piece. There's a lot going on in here, but I mean, all that's really holding it currently, because the sides are still not welded on, which is good for me. All that's holding this together is this anchor bolt here, and then there's the same on the other side. and then all the different little spot welds that go across here. So I guess what I'm going to do next is take the wheel and clean up along this seam, see how many spot welds we're looking at, and see what kind of task we'll be looking at to go ahead and replace them. Well, here's what we got. This is the reality of it. We're gonna just clear off this section to be able to see all the spot welds. But look, this area I knew about. Look at this. These are more areas that I revealed. Hole, hole, hole. Hole, 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 hole. Hole, hole, hole. More holes. Holes, holes, holes. Hole, hole, hole. Big hole. Big holes. I don't know what to do. I went up here. This section actually isn't that bad, which is good. I'm happy to see that. There is some pitting and some surface rust, but it doesn't really go beyond that. With the parcel shelf, I don't know what to do. They do not make parcel shelves anymore. You cannot buy a patch panel for this. I almost wonder if I've completely wasted my time by doing this. I wonder if I just need to go ahead and come in here and just cut this whole dang thing out and then just put in some new metal. I don't know. My plan for this section was to actually build a speaker box to house two 6x9 speakers and a small Bluetooth stereo anyways. I was going to build that out of wood and just set it on top of this. But I don't know. I would love some advice from any of you guys who have done this before or who have done body work. Give me some honest opinions. I'll tell you this right now. I am not scrapping the car. I'm not doing that. I had one guy in a forum tell me that I should and buy a Miata. I'm not doing that. I need to fix this. Let me know what you think. Well, here we are. The end of another video. The end of another defeating day. I knew what I was getting into this project, and I knew that the second I bought this thing, I was just in over my head. But I wanted to do this, so I am going to do it. And like I just said in the last segment, I'm not going to scrap this car. I am going to fix it. This is a commitment I've made to myself, made to you, but mainly also to the car. It's a cool car. There's not many of these left on the road. We do have to keep them running. So, I didn't think this parcel shelf was going to be as bad as it is. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do about that. I would love for you guys to put some suggestions in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Like I said though, I planned on building a speaker box to go back there, to go ahead and house two 6x9 speakers, maybe a lockable compartment that I might be able to just put like my paperwork and stuff in there, like license, insurance, my wallet and all that jazz for when I'm cruising. So it doesn't need to be original, but I need it to be strong. And so anyways, that's where we're leaving it at today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments. I want some real honest opinions. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.